MMA's weight cutting problems. And a full commission vote on the plan is expected on May the 16th. Now, according to Andy, because, again, we talked to GSP about this, and he had some good points about how boxing, there's a certain percentage of your body mass that you can't lose. Andy says, everybody should recognize there's been a problem here, which I think we all do. And it's as prevalent as any problem in any sport has ever been. Well, I don't know about that. It's not exactly CTE in football.
Relax.
We will really consider this a life or death issue in a lot of cases. All right. If you're in the right weight class, you shouldn't have gained back more than 10% of your body weight overnight. If we have 31% of any licensing population engaging in what doctors consider to be unsafe activity, that's a problem. It's a good point. Vice President of Athlete Health for the UFC and Performance, Jeff Nowitzki, who worked closely with Foster in developing this 10-point plan, said that the UFC is in favor of more weight class choices for athletes. Rogan has been saying this for a long time. Yeah. I mean, I first suggested it to Rogan.
Right.
I didn't. But it sounds cool to say that. People are like, boy, Jim's really pulling Joe's strings. No one believes that. The organization is always evaluating the talent pool, and the recent edition of UFC's 145 women's side division is a perfect example of our willingness to address additional weight classes if the talent merits it. Joe has been saying every 10 pounds, and this is what they're proposing. We got the rules here. I'm going to go right to one of them. Sorry, this is it. Number 3. Additional weight classes. 165, 175, 195, 225, with the removal of welterweight 170. Now, are they going to make 165 or 175 welterweight? They got to keep a welterweight division.
Wait, say it again. The weight
they're thinking of doing 160 because it goes, from 155 to 175. 165, 175, 195, 225. Those are the additions to one plus 205. I'm sure.
Right, you leave light heavyweight and middleweight,
and then a 20-pounder.
I would have loved. I would have loved to have been fighting at like a 165.
Sure, put the few.
Because I could have made that easily, but 155. I was short, really short for a welterweight. I wasn't a big. I'm wide for any weight, but I was definitely short for that weight. But
lightweight was hard.
Lightweight was hard, man.
Sure.
I'll show you pictures where it's just like, people were looking at me like I'm like Gollum, man. I was really sucked in bad.
It's a good move, right? I think that's a great move.
I would have loved that when I was fighting, man, because I was kind of a tweener, but I still fucked some people up.
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry.
It says, along with licensing by weight class and ringside physician certification, the new weight classes are essential. So each individual athlete has more options to choose a class that is suitable for them. I think it's great. And Chris and I were talking before Matt arrived, just chatting. Chris thought it might have diluted things a bit, or the potential to do that. Right. And I think you might be right. But I also think it gives you a potential to free up more things. Like right now, the lightweight division is kind of, look, Conor is the biggest name. And they're being held hostage a bit because he's going to fight Mayweather. So what happened? But now if there's a weight class like within 10 pounds above it, below, there's a lot more options for these fighters. Chris raised the point beforehand. People can hold multi-division multi-weight class belts a lot easier. It could really make things interesting.
Right.
So I do think that there's the potential for a lot of great things. And anyone that thinks that the UFC is not putting on great fights, you're out of your fucking mind. Card after card has fights that I give a shit about, honestly.
No, that last card was off the fucking
There's so many great fights. And the fact is, if there's so many title fights, and they're fixing this weight cutting issue, and you won't have as many people dropping out, because that's a big part of the problem. Is that Nurmagomedov Ferguson didn't happen because of the weight. Right. So many of these fucking fights don't happen because of the weight. But if the weight is more accurate and better, their fights are going to happen. So all these great fights you're going to get, so many more championship fights, guys that are being left out. Yoel Romero, Damian Maia, who we spoke about. These are guys that should get fucking Jacare. Stop fighting till you get a championship fight. You're deserving. Yeah. But he loves to fight. Cowboy, the same thing, loves to fight.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, look.
Am I babbling? I'm sorry. I'm all coffeeed up, guys.
Listen, this game is a brutal game. I mean, you look at fights where guys 1 second, for like you separated by a few months. Like Jacare fights Tim Bosch. Man,
probably didn't put out a lot of energy in that one.
It looked effortless.
Yeah.
Got a scratch on him, and he took that guy's arm almost off. Then you see his next fight, man. He's marked up, bell ringing. His head's still probably hurting. It's a rough game, man.
It certainly is.
I mean, if you look at his fights prior to that, it's like, this guy, give him a title shot. Now it's like, dude, unfortunately, it's like now you're back at the line, man. It's such a rough. It's a rough game, man.
So light heavyweight would be 205. Right now, middleweight would stay
185.
185.
Yeah.
What do you call 195? Super middleweight? That's my guess. I'm totally guessing.
Yeah.
So then welterweight goes to 175 or 165? Lightweight stays 155. Welterweight is now 170, 15 pounds heavier. So what goes to 165 and 175? Which is welterweight and what does the other weight get called? Oh, welterweight goes to 165 and 175 is super welterweight.
And really quick,
That makes sense.
But will they keep? Oh, sorry, Matt. Will they keep the same name though? It's a little confusing for the fans.
I'm sure they're not.
Bantamweight, lightweight, flyweight, featherweight. You don't have. You only have one weight class named each
Right,
time.
yeah, they might have to change it.
They change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all proposals, by the way. None of
I
this
think
is
they
going
should do
into-
it. They're going to vote May 16th. I think they should do it. Joe's been saying it. A lot of people have been saying it, and I agree with them. And more fights. I'm greedy for fights.
So wait a second. This is
More
going
fights.
before what commission or anything? Like
It's in California. I mean, I don't even know if it'll be the whole thing. If California does it, maybe they're saying a lot.
Like
of
the
people-
full athletic commission, I believe, will vote on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. There's more changes, Matt. We can cover these.
talk to me. Go ahead.
Weight class restrictions for fighters who miss weight more than once. Fighter who misses weight more than once will be required to compete in a higher weight class until a physician certifies the weight is appropriate and approved by the commission for competition in the weight class. Again, a lot of this is literally because they're probably sick and tired of having fights be canceled, but it is a health risk. Guys are winding up in the fucking hospital. Khabib was fucked up over that one.
Right.
Yeah, that's scary.
Guys have had real problems.
His manager actually showed me the text. His manager Ali. Mm-hmm. He showed me the text that night with him and Khabib, where he's saying he's sorry and he's got to go to the hospital. He's like, "What the fuck?" I don't know if that helps the story at all. I'm just
It
saying.
does.
The guy. You're saying the guy was fucked up. I'm like, yeah. I
It was
literally
genuine.
saw
You're
the,
saying
yeah,
there was no
exactly.
bullshit there.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was very genuine. A second weight check the day of the event to ensure fighters have not gained more than 8% of their body weight back
Well, what the fuck is that?
in the
I mean,
30
I don't
hours
know,
between
man.
the official weigh-in and the event. That means your rehydration is, but again, it's hard to say you can't eat a lot.
Right.
Fighters who
saying.
gain so much weight between weigh-in and the fight may still be allowed to compete, but they may be required to move to the next weight class in future bouts. They're not going to kick you out of the fight, but they're saying if this is how much you're putting on, you got to fight heavy.
All right, I guess
It's crazy.
I don't know what
A lot of stuff. Who knows? Maybe all these won't go
Yeah.
through. Maybe you ask for 10, you want 5.
Right. Yeah, well, because what Andy Foster was saying is that 31% of fighters gain more than 8% of their body weight back, after the weigh-in. So that's they're putting on they're losing a lot. To
And
make
boxing, let me say this about boxing. They don't seem to have a whole lot of weight cut problems like this. They don't seem to have a lot of fights
Yeah.
canceled, major fights canceled because of weight.
Right.
Do they?
No, I'm not. I don't follow boxing too closely.
I don't either,
no,
but
it
I
doesn't
can't think
seem
of the
that way.
last major. Can we look that up?
Yeah.
The last major fight that was canceled because of a weight problem. Or how often does it? Again, they don't put on the amount of fights
doubt
UFC
it.
does either, though.
That's true.
UFC puts on a lot of fights.
Did you see the back and forth on Twitter? I'm reading right here with
Between Manawa and fucking...
Manawa.
Yes.
I like that Manawa calls him Daniel, like his a parent.
Not DC, yeah.
He's like, "Take the fight, Daniel." I love that shit.
This is more that... This is more that let's promote a fight that was probably going to have to do in case Jones can't fight. I would like to see the fight, but Cormier being a bad guy, I don't mind, but I don't need you to do that. I like Cormier.
Well, what do you mean? You don't mean him to what?
Meaning, like, I feel bad that he's had to kind of turn heel in a way. Like, he just got sick of the bullshit.
He's speaking his mind to a certain degree. I believe he believes what he's saying, that he'll do this and do that. And
Absolutely.
it's not like he's going overboard, acting
Right.
like an idiot. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's
He's
true.
just being more blunt, and I think he feels that people are gonna not like him anyway. I mean, I'm not saying people don't like him, but it's a kind of guy's getting booed a lot and stuff. I love the guy.
I'm a big DC fan.
I'm a huge, and he's such a respectful guy, such a good dude.
A really nice
He's
man.
a nice guy, man.
And he fucking... Look, and he put it to Anthony Johnson
and he
twice.
fights, man. It's not like this guy doesn't fucking fight. I mean, the guy's looking to inflict damage. He's it's not like he's a play it safe guy or anything. I
No.
mean, I don't know what exactly is. I just think that a lot of people really like Jones.
They do.
and they see the rivalry
Because he's more
and they're picking him up.
charismatic, and he's younger, and certain guys represent something to you, and I don't. Ali Frazier. Ali represented rebellion. He represented youth and new thinking, and for some reason, Frazier represented the old way and the establishment, and we don't know why. It just was that way. So maybe that's the way it is with
Yeah.
Cormier. He represents the status quo. The guy who I don't know. I mean, I can't explain why he's not as colorful, personality-wise, as John Jones. John Jones is a more colorful guy, younger.
Hey, Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate. I mean, you get people who are a little just. They might say all the right things, and hey, this person looks like a nicer person. I'm not saying it's the way it is.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what
other
it is
people
either.
are just. They have that it factor about
People like Misha too, though.
them. They do like Misha.
They do like
I
Misha.
like Misha.
You know, Ronda's Ronda, but people do like Misha.
I know, but when they had that, but they have a trilogy, didn't they? They fought 3 times or 2 times.
Two.
Two. They
Two.
fought
Didn't
Oh,
they
that's
fight?
right.
Wait, no, they did fight. Wait,
No, wait. How many times did they fight?
they might have fought
It's crazy.
3.
I think they
Did
fought
they fight in the amateur
2 or
ones?
3. No, they fought.
Well, they fought in Strikeforce, definitely.
No, wait. No, did they?
They had
fight?
one fight in the UFC. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was twice in the UFC.
Let me see.
Oh, that's wait. They fought in Strikeforce because Misha was the champion. That's right.
I thought it was twice in UFC.
It might be twice in the UFC. I think it was twice.
UFC 168, Ronda armbar.
Third round,
Misha.